Today we're going to check out some knives that have an aggressive look but are actually really good EDC knives. Now this is not one of them because this is only a prototype. It's my prototype. It is my knife design. This is the Neeves Knife Co. Offender, and this will be coming sometime over the next few months or so. But yeah, I figured this is a good representation of kind of what I'm talking about. It looks aggressive, yet it's extremely well done, and it's a very useful knife design. And man, is it phenomenal. Let's get into the list, starting it off with the Concept Fenrir. The Concept Fenrir, in my opinion, is a little bit of a self-defense knife while also being just a phenomenal cutting tool. The ergonomics of this handle are just, they're so comfortable, and with this harpoon you can really lock in right there. Now if you get it in the reverse gas station knife fighting grip, that same poon lets your palm kind of rest in there and lets you cap off the butt end of it. You can also choke up, but this blade shape is phenomenal for utility cuts, for slicing. It's got front flipping action and a thumb stud deployment, which both work very well. This one from mine definitely has a stronger detent, which I do prefer a little bit of the lighter one, but this was one of the earliest models. But you can see it's a reverse bolster lock. That's exactly what it is. So it is you can call it a bolster lock, but it's a reverse bolster lock, and it obviously comes in different versions, different steels. This one's S35VN. This one is a 10CR Damascus. Let's get to the next one. We want to kind of go through these pretty quickly. Next, we have the Dromos from Miguran. Personally, for me, I'm usually not a fan of upswept blades, but this thing just has such an aggressive look to it, in my opinion. It almost looks like, I don't know, something angry coming after you. I freaking love it. And not only does it look really cool and aggressive, this thing is extremely well done. One of the better quality knives from Miguran does a great job. So I'm not trying to say they have low quality knives, but they, obviously every company is going to have knives that just stand out. This one absolutely stands out to me as far as the quality and the machining goes. You have multiple forms of deployment with the whole deployment and a perfectly tuned detent for both deployments, the flipping action and the reverse flick. We have a hand satin M390 blade. This one is an actual bolster lock, and it does come in a couple different versions. The next one we're actually going to do two. We have the Bestech Razan. This thing is fairly new. And then the Bestech Cetus, which is still pretty new, or fairly new, but the price actually went down quite a bit from what I can see. I think this thing is a badass tactical knife. It has a crossbar lock that is a very strong locking system, a thumb disc that has plenty of traction. It's actually very easy to use, and thumb discs can be hit or miss. This one's definitely a hit. Then it has a deep hollow grind here, and then a nice robust flat grind up here. Perfect sharpening tool and plunge grind, titanium bolsters. It does have steel liners, and then micarta with a very functional working pocket clip. Ergonomics, this thing is absolutely phenomenal in the hand. Then you have something like this, which is quite a bit different than that, but still very aggressive. Now this is a Poltergeist design. This is a Combo design, which Combo is kind of known for doing aggressive looking pocket knives. This one also has the disc, and again, this one is a hit. It's almost not a thumb disc because of the way it's placed, how big it is, the traction. It feels different than what you expect from a thumb disc. A little similar, but then it also has the feeling of one of those triangular thumb studs where you can just basically thumb it out or flick it out from any angle. You can see it is ever so smooth. Blade seal on this one. On this one's M390, I know that one. This one, Magna Cut steel on this guy, and it has this clip point semi-upsweep blade, but you can still get to the tip very easily because it does still line up with the center of the pivot. Lots of belly there. It does go from thicker to slimmer in the handle, titanium pocket clip, and a titanium frame lock. But This one is surprising. When you get it in the hand, it feels like it feels very, very high quality. And of course, Bestech does a really damn good job. So let's get to the next one. So the next one, we're actually doing a few, as you can see, because I could go on and on with knives from We Knife Co. that are very aggressive looking, yet extremely, extremely functional. This is the newest one of the list, and I believe, or at least I heard, that this is a DLC. It almost has like a gunmetal look to it. The machining on the handle is so, so well done. I mean, this thing is amazing. I freaking love this thing. If you like big knives, you're gonna love this one. Dual ground, almost a spear pointish blade. The tip does land pretty much center of the pivot. Titanium mill pocket clip, titanium body with Wee's button lock action that is better than almost every company, if not the best company doing it. Awesome, awesome knife. Great geometry, great slicer, great ergonomics. Then we have the Ziphius. Now, the Ziphius is one, oh yeah, by the way, this is the Sizit. And the Ziphius, there is a version of this available right now. These are a limited edition. So are the this one right here. We'll get to it in a second. But I love a Harpoon Wharncliffe. I love a harpoon. And this Harpoon Wharncliffe to me is not only super aggressive looking, but this is extra functional. You can slice all the way out to the tippity tip. The utility cuts you already know are going to be so amazing. The handle is very, very ergonomic. Again, their button locks are tuned to perfection. Premium materials here, 20 CV, titanium, and then we have this back strap that makes it feel like an integral in your hand, even though it is its own piece. But all in all, the Ziphius was one of, I think it got like first or second place in last year Knife of the Year. And this one as well, because to me, these are two in the same, just different blade shapes. So you have the Harpoon Wharncliffe, or you have a dual ground drop point. Now, the body is pretty similar. This one has a carbon fiber back strap, but it also came in a titanium one as well. It has the button lock action with a hole deployment instead of a thumb stud, and basically the same flipping action. 20 CV steel, titanium handle, titanium mill pocket clip, all the bells and whistles with ceramic caged bearings and so on. And it's just absolutely an amazing pocket knife while having, you know, somewhat of an aggressive look. Obviously, this one looks a little bit more aggressive than the Exciton, but the Exciton is probably more people's style since it is a little bit more simple. Next, the Shadowfire. I freaking love this thing. This thing's one of my favorite tactical knives right now. I think it is not only a very aggressive looking knife, but it's also, to me, a good looking knife, but an extremely functional knife. It's narrow, so it's very easy to carry. The tiger striped finish looks really good. Great flipping action. We have a dual ground tanto. It is almost a straight back, but it does cant down right there, so you can actually get to the primary tip and the secondary tip, and it's nice and slicey. Has a nice long straight edge right there, so you can get some long distance slicing done, and you can use this in any grip possible because of these amazing neutral ergonomics. Good access to the lock bar, stupid smooth, just a phenomenal knife. 20 CV is on all of these. That is what We Knife excuse me, typically uses. I'm hoping that they wind up changing that up, but my goodness, are all of these knives amazing. And I could go on and on with We. I could pull out 5 more from We Knife Co. By the way, there are still some FLNs available. This is one of my designs with TCAL knives. Now, this one is without the karambit ring, but this does come with a G10 karambit ring, and you can also get it in a full metal karambit ring if that's what you want. Now, we do have a new version that we're actually going to call a different name because it is very different, and that's going to be coming soon. So we have that in the works coming up, and to me, I think that's going to be so badass. It's going to be a little bit more like the original design. This one, like I said, still badass, but it's only limited to what's left in stock. So once this one's gone, they won't be made anymore. And yeah, it's, to me, it's an awesome self-defense knife. I wouldn't consider it a great EDC knife, even though you can use it for that. It's more so for, you know, when you're in a sticky situation that you need to get out of. And by the way, they did have, I believe, a version like this in this type of finish with like the gunmetal. It was a complete gunmetal finish one. Not sure if they're still available, but that thing looks incredible. Now, the next one, Sharp by Designs, the Derecho. Nope, Ray's already corrected me 1,000 times. Derecho. Anyways, we have an M390 hollow ground harpoon Wharncliffe. Like we were talking about before, I love a nice harpoon, you know, as we can see. This one has a harpoon hawk bill. Did I say Wharncliffe before? Hawk bill. The hawk bill gives a recurve right here, so it's gonna trap materials. And this is a knife that, one, for aggressive use, self-defense, things like that, it's just gonna be incredible, because swiping with this, all you have to do is touch something and it's life-threatening. This thing is nice and thin, nice and slicey. It's gonna yank itself right into whatever you hit. Then again, if you're just gonna use it as a basic EDC knife, the utility cuts are gonna be phenomenal. You can get long distance slicing going. If you wanna trap a rope and cut a rope, it can't slip out of the cut. That's the beautiful thing with hawk bills, is things don't slip out of the cut. It basically holds a cut for a long time. And this one has, like I said, M390 titanium with these inlays, and there's a bunch of different color options, a bunch of different options. The list goes on and on. This is not an integral, it is 2 pieces, but it has a nice open visual look to it. And it's using Brian Nadeau's detent nub, which instead of a ceramic detent ball, this uses the steel lock bar insert has a basically like a groove cut out of it, a nub, and that falls into a squared out spot in the blade, leading to a very crispy, clean breaking detent. Not a super strong detent, just a very, very consistent detent. And to me, this fuller is so good. I mean, it lands in a great spot and it has the perfect amount of sharpness to flick it. Great resistance from the detent. And the flipper tabs, while I do kind of wish there was a little traction on there, it works very, very well. Very ergonomic, awesome, awesome knife. So there you guys go. That is just a few knives that I think are awesome, awesome EDC pocket knives that you can daily carry, that will serve you very well, that also have a good looking, aggressive look. If you guys like this type of content, I'll put some cards up on the screen for you to click on. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.